In the heart of the whispering woods, where fireflies danced and flowers glowed with their own gentle light, lived a magical fox named Lumi. Unlike the other foxes with their fiery red coats, Lumi's fur was a beautiful silvery white that shimmered with the light of the moon. Her magic was even more special. When she felt happy, her fur would glow with a soft, warm light. When she was brave, it would shine like 1,000 stars. But Lumi was a very shy fox. She was afraid of her own glow and worried that it made her too different. So she spent most of her time hiding in shadows and behind bushes, trying to keep her light a secret. The Whispering Woods was a peaceful place, but a new kind of trouble was beginning to stir. A shadowy creature, known only as the Gloom, had started to creep through the forest. The Gloom wasn't evil, but it was terribly sad and lonely, and whenever it passed by, it would steal the light from everything it touched. The most important source of light in the woods was the moon petal flower, a beautiful blossom that opened only at night, filling the forest with a soft, comforting glow. The Gloom loved the moon petal flower's light the most and was slowly sucking it all away. Soon, the forest began to grow darker. The fireflies' lights flickered weakly, and the animals started to feel tired and lost. Even Professor Hoot, the wise old owl, couldn't figure out a solution. "The moon petals are the heart of our forest," he said with a sigh. "If their light fades, so will our courage." Lumi saw the changes and felt a little flicker of bravery inside her. But her fear was bigger. She tucked herself into a small cave, hoping the problem would go away on its own. One night, a young firefly named Flicker was flying home and got caught in a patch of extra thick darkness left by the Gloom. He was trying his hardest to light his little lantern, but the Gloom's sadness was too strong. Flicker's light went out, and he began to drift, scared and alone. Lumi, hidden in her cave, watched from a distance. She saw the little firefly struggle and felt a pang of worry. She knew she couldn't just sit there. Taking a deep breath, she let out a tiny silver glow from her fur. It wasn't bright, but it was just enough. The small light caught Flicker's attention, and he was able to find his way out of the darkness. He flew straight to Professor Hoot to tell him what had happened. Professor Hoot knew exactly who had helped the firefly. He hooted with joy and flew to Lumi's cave and found her fur glowing just a little brighter than usual. "Lumi," he said softly, "your light isn't a secret to hide. It's a gift to share. Only you can restore the moon petals. Your light is pure and comes from the moon itself. It's the only light that can stand up to the Gloom's sadness." Lumi's heart beat fast. The thought of facing the Gloom was terrifying. But then she remembered the little firefly, Flicker, and how happy he was to see her light. That memory gave her a feeling of warmth and courage. She took another deep breath and nodded. "I'll do it," she whispered, and for the first time, her voice felt strong. Lumi ran to the very center of the Whispering Woods, where the Gloom was now just a large, dark shadow hovering over the last moon petal flowers. The Gloom turned to face her, looking like a big cloud of fear. "You can't stop me," it rasped in a sad, quiet voice. "My darkness is too big." Lumi stood her ground. She remembered Professor Hoot's words and all the animals who were depending on her. She thought about the beautiful moon petals and the happy glow of the fireflies. Instead of letting her fear control her, she let her magic pour out of her heart. Her silvery fur began to shine brighter and brighter. The light pulsed, changing from silver to a warm golden yellow. It grew and grew, pushing back against the gloom shadow. The light wasn't angry or harsh. It was gentle and full of love. It wrapped around the gloom like a warm blanket. The gloom shadow began to shrink, not because it was being hurt, but because the light was chasing away its sadness. Soon, all that was left of the gloom was a tiny wisp of shadow, floating peacefully. Lumi's golden light spread throughout the entire forest, touching every moon petal flower. One by one, they began to glow, their light returning brighter than ever. The fireflies flashed with happiness, and the animals emerged from their homes, cheering for their new hero. Lumi, no longer a shy fox, stood in the center of the woods, her coat glowing brightly. She had saved the forest not just with her light, but with her courage. From that day on, she never hid her beautiful glow again. She even made sure to visit the tiny wisp of gloom that had found a home in a hollow log and share a bit of her light with it every night, so it would never feel sad and lonely again.